Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native Echo Podcast, where we make English simple and enjoyable. I'm Harper, and today it's just me. No Julian, just you and me having a quiet little chat. So get comfortable, make yourself a warm drink, and let's talk about something that happens to all of us. Today, we are talking about how to express shock in English. That feeling when something happens and your brain just stops for a second. Let me start with a story. Last week, I was sitting at home, very calm, drinking my tea, scrolling on my phone. And then I got a message from an old friend. We had not spoken in maybe 2 years. And the message said, "Guess what? I'm getting married next month." And I just froze. I literally sat there with my mouth open, looking at the screen. My tea went cold. I forgot I was even holding it. And the only word that came out of my mouth was, "What?" And that is the thing about shock. When we are really surprised, our normal language disappears. Even in our own language, we don't make perfect sentences. We just say small, quick things. "No way." "What? Seriously?" And that is completely normal. So today, I want to teach you the natural words and phrases that native speakers actually use when they are shocked. Not textbook English, real English. The kind of thing you hear in everyday life. Let's start with the most simple one. No way. This is probably the most common shocked reaction in English. Someone tells you something surprising, and you just say, "No way." It does not mean there is no road or no path. It is just an expression. It means, "I can't believe it." For example, your friend says, "I won some money yesterday." And you say, "No way. How much?" It is short, it is easy, and it sounds very natural. You can use it with good news and bad news. Your friend says, "The shop is closed today." "No way. I walked all the way here." See, it works for everything. Now, here is a word I really want to teach you today. Speechless. Speechless means you literally cannot speak because you are so surprised or so emotional. Speech, like talking, and less, meaning without speech. So when something shocks you so much that no words come out, you are speechless. For example, when my friend told me she was getting married, I was speechless. I wanted to say something nice, something kind, but nothing came out. I was just speechless. You can use this for happy moments too. Someone gives you an amazing gift, and you say, "I'm speechless. Thank you so much." It is a beautiful word, and it sounds very natural when you use it. Let's continue. Another phrase you will hear all the time is, "You're kidding," or "You must be kidding." To kid someone means to joke with them, to say something that is not true just for fun. So when you say, "You're kidding," you are really saying, "Please tell me this is a joke, because I can't believe it is real." Your friend says, "I lost my phone again," and you say, "You're kidding. That's the third time this month." Sometimes people just say, "You're joking," and it means exactly the same thing. Both are very common. Now, I want to slow down for a second and talk about a stronger word: stunned. When you are stunned, you are so shocked that you cannot move or react for a moment. Stunned is stronger than just surprised. Imagine you hear very big news and your whole body just stops. That is stunned. For example, when I heard the news, I was completely stunned. I just stood there. So we have surprised, which is normal, then speechless, when no words come, and then stunned, when you can't even move. Each one is a little bit stronger. By the way, here is something interesting. In English, we often use our body to show shock, and we describe it with words. We say, "My jaw dropped." Your jaw is the bottom part of your face, the part that moves when you talk. So when something is very shocking, your mouth opens by itself, and we say, "My jaw dropped." When she told me the price, my jaw dropped. It is a fun, natural way to describe surprise. Native speakers use it all the time. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were really shocked by something? Maybe some news, maybe a surprise from a friend, maybe something you saw on the street. Think about it for a second. And later, after this episode, try to describe it in English using one of these phrases, even just one sentence. That is how you really learn. Okay, let me give you another one. This is a phrase that sounds very natural and a little dramatic. I can't believe it. Or I couldn't believe it. This is perfect for storytelling. When you tell someone about a shocking moment, you can say, I just couldn't believe it. For example, I opened the door and I could not believe what I saw. My whole family was standing there for a surprise party. Couldn't believe it. This phrase pulls the listener into your story. It makes them feel the surprise with you. Now, here is a word that is a little more advanced, but very useful. Astonishing, or the verb to astonish. Astonishing means extremely surprising. Surprising in a big, almost unbelievable way. If something is just a little surprising, we don't say astonishing. We save this word for the big moments. The view from the mountain was astonishing. Or, it's astonishing how fast time goes. You can also say, I was astonished. When I saw how much he had grown, I was astonished. It is a slightly fancier word, but it makes your English sound rich and natural. Let me share another little story with you. A few months ago, I was walking in my neighborhood, the same street I walk every single day. Nothing ever changes there. And suddenly, there was a brand new coffee shop, fully open with people inside, like it had always been there. And I just stopped on the street and said out loud to nobody, "What? When did this happen?" I was genuinely shocked. And honestly, a small thing like that can shock us more than big news sometimes, because we don't expect it. Shock is really about the unexpected. It is about the gap between what you expected and what actually happened. Now let me teach you something useful about how shock sounds. When native speakers are shocked, they often stretch their words. They say, "What?" instead of just "what," or "No way." We use our voice to show the emotion. So when you practice these phrases, don't say them flat. Put some feeling into them. "No way." "Are you serious?" "You're kidding." The emotion is part of the language. If you say it flat, it sounds strange. If you say it with feeling, it sounds completely natural. Here is another phrase, and this one is very common. "Are you serious?" When someone tells you something surprising, you ask, "Are you serious?" You are checking, is this real? Is this true? Your friend says, "I'm moving to another country." And you say, "Wait, are you serious? When?" Sometimes people just say, "Seriously?" with that surprised tone. Seriously? He said that? It is short and it is everywhere in real conversation. And there is one more I want to give you, a softer one. "Oh my goodness," or "Oh my." These are gentle, polite ways to show surprise. You can use them anywhere, with anyone. "Oh my goodness, I didn't expect that." They are warm and friendly. If you want something even shorter, you can just say, "Wow." Wow is small but powerful. "Wow, that's amazing." "Wow, I had no idea." Sometimes the simplest word is the best one. So let me ask you again, and really think about this one. Has anything ever shocked you so much that you became completely speechless? A moment where you wanted to say something, but no words came? I would love for you to remember that moment. And after this episode, try saying it in English. "I was speechless when..." Just finish that sentence in your head right now. That little practice is so powerful. Now I want to remind you of something gentle. You don't need to use big, dramatic words to sound natural. Honestly, native speakers mostly use the small ones. "No way." "Wow." "Seriously?" "Are you kidding?" These tiny phrases do most of the work in real conversation. The fancy words like astonishing and stunned are wonderful, and they make your English richer, but you do not need them every day. Start with the small ones. Get comfortable. Then slowly add the bigger ones when you feel ready. There is no rush. Learning a language is not a race. And here is a little tip for you. The next time you watch a film or a show in English, listen carefully for these reactions. You will hear them everywhere. No way. I can't believe it. You're kidding me. My jaw dropped. Now that you know them, you will start noticing them. And noticing is the first step to using them yourself. Once you notice a phrase 3 or 4 times, it becomes part of you. And one day, it just comes out naturally, without thinking. All right, let's do a quick recap of everything we learned today so it really stays in your memory. First, no way, the simple, everyday way to show surprise. Second, speechless, when you are so shocked that no words come out. Third, you're kidding, when you hope something is just a joke. Fourth, stunned, when you are so shocked you cannot even move. Fifth, my jaw dropped, a fun way to describe your mouth opening in surprise. And a few extra friends. Are you serious? I can't believe it. Astonishing for the really big moments, and the gentle ones. Oh my goodness. And wow. Try to use one of these this week, just one, and see how it feels. Thank you so much for spending this quiet time with me today. I really enjoy these solo chats with you. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Native Echo Podcast and give it a like. It truly helps us reach more learners just like you. And tell me in the comments, what is one thing that left you speechless? I read every single comment, and writing it in English is wonderful practice. Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, even native speakers just say no way when they're shocked. So you are already doing great. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.